like home. At Des Moines General Hospital, we specialize in life's little wonders, including feeling at home.
Get ready for Ice Capades, presented by Legs Sheer Energy. World-class figure skating is coming to Vets Auditorium Wednesday, November 27th through Sunday, the 1st of December. Enter Hanna-Barbera's World of Fun and Excitement on ice for the Heritage Cablevision Ice Hot $2 off ticket offer. It's a hot deal for young people and seniors.
It's hot.
See Ice Capades, presented by Legs Sheer Energy, coming to Vets Auditorium. Don't miss this family favorite or your Ice Hot ticket offer from Heritage Cablevision.
This is CNN.
Wall Street takes another hit, and President Bush takes more shots over his economic program. An American family is reunited in Germany with word from Iran that the remaining American hostages will be freed soon. And Edward Shevardnadze comes full circle, back as the top Soviet diplomat. From CNN, this is The World Today. Thanks for joining us. I'm Frank Sesno. Catherine Cryer is off today. More indications of turbulence in the U.S. economy's bumpy ride out of recession. The stock market registered its second serious slide in 3 trading sessions, with the Dow Jones Industrial Average falling more than 41 points, wiping out yesterday's gains following Friday's 120-point sell-off. As if to reinforce the market's message, the U.S. trade deficit increased in September to $6.79 billion, its worst showing in 8 months. President Bush says while the economy isn't great, there is a good recovery in the offing, and it doesn't need new government tinkering. But some in his own party don't agree. White House correspondent Mary Tillotson reports.
While the stock market sank some 40 points, still another sign of the lame economy, President Bush told a group of newspaper publishers the country is technically out of recession, though people are still feeling the pinch.
No honest observer can tell you that things are great. They're not. And when people are hurting, I worry about it, and I know you do too. And still, some fundamentals point to a good recovery. We ought to get it in perspective.
The perspective Mr. Bush wants the public to get is that inflation is down, interest rates are down, and he does not need to make any dramatic new proposals to stimulate the economy. Things would be booming, says Mr. Bush, if Congress would pass his existing proposals, including a capital gains tax cut and expanded IRAs. But some of Mr. Bush's own Republican foot soldiers on Capitol Hill disagree with him about how badly the economy is ailing.
But I think he's wrong. I think we have an enormously serious problem with our economy, and I think the fact is that we are in recession.
My own personal judgment is that it's not going to get much better, so the sooner we can act, the better.
Senators Specter and Domenici say one way to stimulate the economy is to give people 1 year to use retirement savings penalty-free for consumer purchases. And they say Congress should stay in session past Thanksgiving to act on ideas like that one. The president apparently does not think the economy is in enough trouble to keep Congress in Washington, but the economy is troubling enough politically that Mr. Bush may name his re-election team early to answer potshots from Democratic candidates making hay out of the hard times.
We've been waiting for that trickle down. We've been waiting for a drizzle. Tell ourselves for a heavy dew.
Mr. Bush hints he may have some new ideas about pumping up the economy in his State of the Union speech. But some administration officials admit the federal government is so boxed in by the deficit, there's not much it can afford to do. The real hope, they say, is that the economy that's limping along now is steadier on its feet come January. Mary Tillotson, CNN, the White House.
Former hostage Thomas Sutherland spent this day reacquainting himself with loved ones and with liberty. His joy was obvious as he stood on the balcony of a U.S. military hospital in Wiesbaden, Germany, accompanied by his wife and other close relatives. 2 of his daughters were on hand. The third is in California, about to have a baby. Sutherland, now 60, was freed yesterday in Lebanon after more than 6.5 years in captivity. He spoke about the reasons for his release shortly after his arrival in Germany.
It's become an embarrassment to them to keep on holding hostages, and they've discovered that it doesn't pay. But I would like to say thank you to all of you for coming out. Thanks to all of the people who have worked so hard on behalf of the hostages over all these years. The many prayers that you've offered in churches all across America. All the communities that have taken time to keep us in their thoughts. And especially my home community.
Rain could not dampen Terry Waite's enthusiasm as the freed British hostage returned to England. Waite, kidnapped as he worked to free others, received a hero's welcome, and CNN's Richard Blystone was on hand.
The whole world had changed while he was locked away, but Terry Waite had not. Liberty still uppermost in his mind.
And we left behind Terry Anderson. Fortunately, yesterday, for the first time, after we had made a special plea to our guards, his chain was released.
The homecoming was cold and wet, best appreciated by someone who's been chained indoors for 5 years. He had missed the collapse of communism, Operation Desert Storm, the fall of Prime Minister Margaret Thatcher, his own sons growing from age 14 to 19. But before he saw his family, he had some things he wanted to say.
It is wrong to hold people in such a way. It is self-defeating, and those who do it fall well below civilized standards of behavior, no matter who they are.
Plainly, Waite was referring to captives held by Israel and its allied militia in South Lebanon. He reminded his captors they are committed to free the other hostages and added a pledge of his own.
And those from whom I have just come can be assured that we in the church, for our part, will not rest until all are freed.
Grayer, gaunter, a little unsteady on his feet, but with his faith and sense of humor still intact, still the man the now retired Archbishop of Canterbury had sent abroad again and again on humanitarian missions. As he headed off for rest, reunions, debriefing, and medical checks, he promised to tell more of his story soon. Tuesday evening, London was a joyous tumult of bells as churches gave thanks for the return of the man nicknamed God's Gentle Giant. Richard Blystone, CNN, Lynham Air Force Base, England.
Waite's release resurrects questions about his involvement, unwitting or not, in the U.S. Arms for Hostages deal. The Tower Commission's Iran-Contra report said Waite met with former White House aide Oliver North a number of times, and that the two worked closely on the release of 2 hostages from Lebanon. Waite has insisted he did not work for any government. Today, Oliver North supported that claim. North says if Waite knew of his work, he did not learn of it from North. And still ahead on the world today, their city on the Danube shattered. Refugees stream out of Vukovar, Yugoslavia. Amid concern, a new population may be streaming in. A new, tougher strain of tuberculosis takes root in poor inner-city neighborhoods. And later on the world today, a stormy veto battle over abortion counseling with similar results for Congress. And we'll take you inside a hidden world, a super-secret program designed to make sure the U.S. government survives nuclear attack.
You know what's smart? This Magnavox digital CD shelf system that's incredibly powerful, compact, but what's really smart is this Magnavox 8mm Easy Cam that weighs less than 2 pounds. But what's really brilliant is this 13-inch TV with a built-in VCR. But what's ingenious is this 31-inch with a smart window that lets you see other channels and swap the picture. You know what's smart? This Magnavox digital CD...
Again.
Go away.
The ingenious products from Magnavox. They're smart, very smart.
So you get to go to Asia on business for 2 weeks.
I'll try to call you every day.
Try?
It's not always easy.